Another week, another biopic, and this time, director Reinaldo Marcus Green, who saw success with King Richard a few years back, shines a spotlight on the life of the iconic reggae singer and songwriter Bob Marley. Beginning in 1976, when Jamaica was at the height of political and social upheaval, it covers the period of time that saw an attempt on Marley's life due to his political stance, his fleeing his home country and settling in England, whilst his career hit the stratosphere before returning home to perform his iconic One Love peace protest concert. A turbulent time for the singer, with not only career issues and political issues affecting him, but also personal family matters brought about by the external pressures around him. There's a lot of detail covered within the film, which makes it a bit of a shame that in the end, it's just okay, and perhaps overall, a tad underwhelmingly safe as a biopic. The issue is certainly not with the cast, who are all admirable in their parts, especially Kingsley Ben-Adir in the central role of Marley, who leans heavily into the depiction of the iconic singer with movements, style, look, and the Jamaican patois delivered all to perfection. Indeed, so effective is his delivery of lines that I did find myself for the first half hour struggling sometimes to completely understand the dialogue being spoken, but my ears swiftly attuned to it, and I did get the general vibe, so I never felt lost, and instead was just simply impressed with the authenticity. Opposite Ben-Adir, the ever-excellent Lashana Lynch plays Marley's wife Rita with absolute strength, bringing any scenes when they are both present up a few notches. The issue's not with the visual style or the sound of the film. The music of Marley is obviously heavily utilised, and combined with the visuals of a Jamaica that's struggling with itself, it all works to put Marley's songwriting into a perfect context for the times that he was living through. But this is a film where all the individual factors are right. Interesting story, great cast, marvellous soundtrack, impactful visuals, but it just doesn't really come together to tell us anything. It just feels far too safe. It never feels like it's exploring the character or setting with any depth, simply opting for a surface level look at the singer's rise to prominence. One Love is certainly guaranteed to set toes tapping, and it isn't a wasted experience. But as a biopic, it just feels a tad slight, and it won't leave much of a lasting impression afterwards. This documentary from Malte Alberdi is a heartbreaking look at the impact of Alzheimer's, with a film that looks at the daily routine that Chilean reporter Augusto Gongora and actress Paulita Urita, who've been together for 2 decades, go through as Augusto is slowly eroding away through suffering from Alzheimer's. 8 years prior to the filming, Augusto, who as a journalist was dedicated to ensuring that the atrocities of the Pinochet regime in Chile were never forgotten, was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. At the turn of this decade, the documentary crew began capturing the daily life of Augusto and Pauli, as his condition had deteriorated to the point at which he fails to recognize his wife at some times, himself at other times in a mirror, or simply gets confused as to where he is. And he's got an obsession with protecting his book collection that he believes someone is taking away from him. They are taking his memories away. There are lighter moments scattered within, as the humour and joy that the couple bonded over occasionally comes back, and Augusto begins to demonstrate some of his youthful vigour. But these moments, as anyone who's ever dealt with people who've suffered from Alzheimer's will know, are fleeting. This is a heartbreaking documentary about a condition that strips people down to barely a shell of who they were. And in particular, with this film, we get to see how the disease impacts on those closest to the sufferer. Through Pauli's morning ritual of reminding Augusto of who she is, the good moments when memories flood back and he realizes his eternal love for her, and then the moments when he's lost and confused, not recognizing her and not recognizing his own reflection in a mirror or a reflection on a door, or the house that they built together. This is a raw and very distressing at times look at a condition and how it strains those who love the sufferer. Thoroughly recommended. Currently on BBC iPlayer as part of their Storyville season. Definitely one that you should check out.